ONtheGO podcast. Live from ESCA 2026 in Prague, we are delighted to welcome Dr. Camila Kaleka Cohen, an internationally recognized orthopedic surgeon specializing in knee surgery, sports medicine, and joint preservation from the Instituto Cohen at Hospital Israelita Albert Einstein in São Paulo, Brazil, in a coffee break with Dr. Yari Dahlman, Amsterdam University Medical Centers, University of Amsterdam. My name is Takao Shima, and this is ONtheGO, the podcast all around orthoregeneration.
Welcome, Camila, to the podcast. I'm very happy to host you here in the beautiful city of Prague, where we are at the ESCA conference, and happy to have you on the ONtheGO podcast. If you've listened to our previous podcast, you know that the first question always is, how do you drink your coffee?
Yes, I know. Thank you for having me in this podcast. It's a pleasure to be part of the ON Foundation and also to be in Prague. When I was invited to come, I was super excited, and it was a pleasure for me. So I usually don't drink coffee. I just drink coffees when I have surgeries in the morning, like on Thursdays.
Yeah.
So most of the time I don't drink coffees, and I don't drink coffee. So it's not a very good question, and I cannot say a lot of coffees.
Yeah.
And I'm not a coffee fan. I really like ice cream coffee, though.
Ice cream coffee.
Yes.
The taste of it.
Yeah, I really like ice cream coffee taste and everything, but I'm not a coffee person.
Okay. And you said that you only maybe drink it on the Thursdays. Is that your OR day?
My OR day in the morning is on Thursday, and my OR afternoons on Tuesdays.
Okay.
So I try to split my OR in a morning and an afternoon in my week.
So maybe then we already go a little bit onto how your week looks like as an orthoregeneration surgeon. Could you tell us a little bit how your week looks like?
It's a super mess week, actually, but it seems organized. Like every morning I work out, so it's a mission, and it's a thing that it's not negotiable. So 6 a.m. I'm in the gym, 6 to 7:30 most of the days, except on Thursday. That is my OR.
Yeah.
So then I go straight to my routine. Mondays is a very regenerative day because all my practice it's based on clinic. So I see a lot of patients. Morning it's in an office, and afternoon is another office. I built my own private office clinic in Brazil with more 4 partners.
Oh,
and you call them STEM.
Yeah.
So it's a really it's a clinic related for orthobiologic treatments. So I stay there on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays.
Okay.
So that's almost 3 periods of my week.
Yeah.
On Tuesday I go to clinic and then OR. Wednesday it's my orthobiologic day 2, and I'll do a lot of injections. It's kind of very nice because it's not just clinic patients. I can do my injections and my indications for PRP and also stem cells. So we do a lot of work. In my clinic, we have a small OR, so I can perform some small procedures there. So it's amazing for me, and it's my house, so I feel at home. And Thursday is my half-day OR, half-day clinics. And Friday, I try to make my afternoons free.
Yeah.
But in the morning, I go to the clinic.
And what do you do on those free Friday afternoons?
Most of them, I'm in the conference, right? Because Friday is a really conference day.
Yeah.
But when I'm not, I try to go like to work out, to run, or to take my kids at the school, to meet them, to have lunch with them, or do something that is not related with medical issues.
Yeah. The week is already full of that.
Yes, exactly. So I try.
Yeah, great to hear. And on the website, we also learned that you did a PhD and that you're now a postgraduate researcher as well. Could you tell us a little bit more about your journey towards your PhD and also now doing research.
Yes, I was on my graduation. I was interested in cells. When I was in the first year medical school, I went to the Pittsburgh University. I stayed there with John Howard. I was a very young, but John Howard was like super open-hearted to receive me. And at that time, I remember he was doing some studies with rabbits, and I was responsible to take some cells of them and try to understand what was going on, the chondrocytes and stuff. So it was the really beginning of my life. At that time, I was 18 years old.
Very young.
Very young. And I was like a month there, and I lived in Freddie Full's house. So I stayed there because my dad was a really good friend of him. So it was a very amazing experience in my life. And so I think my passion, like my relation with cells, came since then. So the cells made part of my life. So all my graduation and doing my fellowship, I did some research. My PhD is about cells interacting with HA, hyaluronic acid.
Yeah.
So I tried a lot of types of HA and tried to interact them with the mesenchymal stem cells from fat pad. So I could notice that maybe the HA is not something that you need to add to those cells. They can live without them. They don't care about HA, but it was like in vitro. So, but it was a very nice study to be. I did it in Brazil. So in Brazil, we don't have a lot of money and you don't have a lot of researchers dedicated for research, like scientific basis. So it was a very big deal for me at that time, but I was really happy though. After that, we did a lot of studies in sheep. So we did one with like 25 sheep, and we tried to understand about the scaffolds, what kind of scaffold. And we did some like chondral lesions, osteoarthritis models. And it was a partner with another university, for a vet university from the countryside of Brazil.
Okay.
So they're very nice with us, and we could publish a lot of papers because of this. Yeah. And you're still studying now. You're trying to make a bank for allo cells, from fat tissue. Yeah. Because I really am a person that really believe in the fat tissue cells, like mesenchymal stem cells from fat tissues. And so I'm always studying, I'm always learning, and you have now a kind of 3 or 4 researchers with us. We have more like 6 fellows studying too. So the group and the team is getting bigger, and you're creating more things.
You're building a biobank then, or what
kind
of
bank? We're trying to build a biobank.
Yeah. How does that look like? Could you tell us a bit more about that?
Yeah, but the main issue now, you're in a very, very, very first beginning, like the beginning of this, because we have some issues in the, how can I say, bureaucracy thing. Yeah. It's like our FDA, FDA, our FDA. It's called ONVisa. So you can make a lot of studies. It doesn't mean that this work's gonna be real. And that's what you're trying. I think you're maybe trying to break some barriers, so the people can understand that Brazil, we can research too, we can publish nice things too, and you can bring to the world nice work. So I think that's what you are doing now there. You're trying. Yeah.
And so that's part of your current postdoc or postgraduate researchership that you're currently doing, is that biobank?
They're separate. They're different places. So the biobank is part of our private hospital. We have a very big hospital in Brazil that's called Einstein. Hospital Albert Einstein is the first one in Latin America. It's really big, and it's a very well-known hospital. So they're very interested in doing some research in cells, and you're doing that there. So the sheep things you're doing in another university.
That's separate.
So there are 2 things going.
Enough going on at the same time. So you're still doing a lot of research besides your clinical work then. and you have a lot of fellows and researchers going on with that. Could you tell us some top 3 cool projects that you're currently working at that you could share some small secrets?
I think that top 1 right now is artificial intelligence.
Yeah.
We are doing a lot of plans with AI, like measurements of chondral lesions, MRI measurements, even if ACL things. We are trying to do that in chondral lesions to try to AI to measure and to understand. We are trying to do a cooperation with Harvard, with Chris Letterman.
Oh, yeah.
Because you really want to understand, like, the size of the chondral lesion in your knee maybe is not the same as my knee, and the importance biomechanically, it's not maybe the same. So we're trying to understand, like, the size of the lesion, how it's the impact to your knee, to the size of the knee. Because I don't believe that you are measuring correctly these lesions.
Yeah.
I think you can improve it.
Yeah.
Maybe with AI, they can give us some help.
Yeah.
Trying to better understand, like, the size of the knee and the size of the lesion and some percentage of how this lesion can impact your life or your knee and your functional activities. So something like this, it's something you're trying as the beginning exams, like images, and then biomechanical, and probably going to go to surgery or something like that.
Very cool. Very cool. So AI is also your top project right now. That's very interesting. Then going a bit more to your clinical practice in regards to the orthoregeneration approach. How do you approach a osteochondral lesion or chondral lesion in the knee? What's your go-to treatment algorithm?
Yeah, I'd love to say about an algorithm. I really don't believe they can exist, because the patients, they're so different. You have so many things about them, and the expectations are really high. So most of the time when you're talking about treatment, you have to understand if the patient for sure is a candidate or not for surgery.
Yeah.
And also if he's a candidate or not for injections, because you have many patients that are not candidates even for injections, and you have a lot of people doing injections, and they cannot expect the injection's gonna get them back to normal life.
Yeah.
So I think you have to balance really well this. So the first thing, when the patient came to me and tell their story, I try to understand what they really want, and what the condition he wants me to give him back. So first thing, you have to see the patient. So of course, the age, the BMI, like alignment, those issues that everybody knows.
Yeah.
But the most important thing at that part is talking with these patients. You have to take like 10, 15, 20 minutes to listen to them. So this is part, maybe 70% of our decision is there.
What are key things that you listen to when you have
the key thing is, I want to exercise, but I need to work out. I'm happy if I'm going back to work out. I want to exercise, but I want to do like when I go back to my soccer team, I'm like almost a professional, and I want to do it every day. The other thing is, I just want to have a functional knee, and the other one is, I just don't want to have pain anymore. So we have very different profiles, and these profiles can guide you maybe to understand what they want and when you can deliver. So it's a tough mission for us, like a doctor, because some patient just came imagining they're gonna save them, and it's not that.
No.
It's a very, very established partnership. They have their part, we have our part, so they need to understand what you can and what they can afford to.
So in your eyes, listening to the patient is already 70% of the story of your decision making.
I don't know if 70, but I told 7, but maybe at least maybe 56 or 70, but it's a lot.
And then what are the next steps in your decision making?
He's gonna tell you about the previous treatments, and it counts a lot. So injections or no, most of them, they came with an image. They're done. So MRIs are essential for decision, in my opinion. And also X-rays, they're really helpful. And MRI, it's always important to understand what's going on with the subchondral bone. Subchondral bone is a very big issue right now. We're studying a lot. And then you can see, like, of course, the cartilage. So the chondral lesions, they're not just chondral lesions, they are subchondral bone or not. If they have instability, meniscus pathologies, age, conditions of the bone, and that things really count in my decision. And also how and when I can say to the patient that he's going to be back to their activities.
And then choosing the right treatment and maybe also some surgical approach. What is your go-to surgical approach, and how do you differentiate between option A, B, and what is the role of potential orthobiologics in that? How do you see that landscape?
Yeah, for sure. Nowadays, the size of the lesion really is the most important thing. And when you have the size of the lesion, you have to look to the subchondral bone. If it's involved, the best techniques is to exchange like the bone and cartilage together. The thing is that in Brazil, we don't have allografts. As you know, we have just autografts. So when you have like bigger lesions, it's not a thing to use allograft. So many cases you would do scaffolds, membrane, and you can add in the membrane, you can add like meniscus cartilage and also bone marrow aspirate. So we have like a big market in Brazil for scaffolds because we don't have like the allograft. So I really like the grafts, like autograft. I think it's good, but I don't like to use more than 2 plugs. So if the lesion is enough to use, like big enough to use 2 plugs, for me it's okay. If it's not, I just change to use like scaffold.
And do you add something to the plugs if you do osteochondral transplantation?
I don't think we need. When it's autograft, I don't think we need. I know that you have a lot of papers published by Brian Cole that when you have an allograft and you add bone marrow aspiration concentrate, they increase, like they have better healing success rate. So I really believe in that because they're not alive. So I think the bone integrate better integration of the bone, but I don't think it matters for autograft.
So up to a certain size, you use autografting 2 cylinders, and then when it goes beyond that lesion size, then you go for the membranes, if I understand you correctly.
Perfect.
And what is your treatment strategy in that sense? Like, what do you add then, and when do you add it, and what's the aim there?
When I decide doing surgery, I already know what I'm doing, what I'm performing, and after like a chondral lesions, and when you have a knee that it's really good, it's just a very focal chondral lesion, I don't add any orthobiologics. Sometimes the knee is not so pretty, and then the chondral defect, it's like not like it's not beautiful, and the cartilage, like in total, it's kind of not so wide that is expected. So in those cases, sometimes I add orthobiologics, but like 3 weeks or 4 weeks after the surgery.
Okay, so as an injection 4 weeks after.
Yes.
And that's something that you decide intraoperatively or based on the MRI?
No, many cases intraoperatively. In many cases, because when you have like a good cartilage, and you could do like a scaffold, even like patella, and all the rest of the knee is good. I don't think we need it. But I did some ACLs. I did it like 2 weeks ago with a guy that he's 48 and his knee was not super good. So I said, maybe in a month you're gonna do like some injections. But it's not for an ACL faster recovery. It's just to try to protect the joint.
The cartilage joint. And so you mentioned something that there's no availability of allografts in Brazil. What availability is there regarding types of membranes in Brazil, and which type do you use?
It's not that you don't have availability of allografts. We have a few, very few. So it's a big line to get it, and it's very hard. So the patients, they don't want to wait, and also us, they don't want to wait like forever. So we just say, okay, let's do scaffold. Our membrane, like that you're using since 2015, is Cartilage.
Yeah.
So we're doing AMIC, performing AMIC now, but AMIC plus in most of the patients.
Yeah.
I'm not microfracturing anymore,
Mhm.
like maybe 0% or 1% of
Yeah.
the patients, but most of them I use some adjuncts, like I told you, like means cartilage or BMAC or PRP or sometimes you use adipose tissue and you did it like a lipoamic.
Yeah, that's
And
what
you
I saw
described,
one of your publications.
And you described also with Israelita, it's a guy from Italy, and he's performing that too. And we really like it.
Yeah.
So we can add some cells on the non-biological, like non-cellular scaffold.
Yeah.
So I really think it's nice. So we can maybe combine good words.
Yeah. And what do you use as an after treatment for that specific surgical type? How do you rehabilitate those patients afterwards?
It really depends on where is the lesion.
Yeah.
So patellofemoral lesions, it's fine if they can bear. I just don't hesitate in bearing.
Yeah.
Free weight bearing. But when the lesion is a tibiofemoral lesion, I avoid the weight bearing for 4 weeks.
Okay.
And the patellofemoral, I try not to get a free range of motion.
Yeah.
At the beginning, it's like 0.15, 0.30,
yeah.
And then you're progressive, very, very, I would say,
carefully building
very
it up.
Carefully, You have to talk them, and also the PT have to be really careful.
Yeah.
And also range of motion when you have like tibiofemoral lesions. I am not so careful with that. I can be more aggressive.
Okay, I think we have some very helpful information regarding your treatment protocol there, and we're learning a lot from that. And I slowly want to switch towards something that I also read on the ICRS website, is that you're really interested in also methodological quality of papers and rigorousness in scientific studies. That I read is you're doing a lot of research on that and really interested in that. Could you tell us a little bit more about that interest of yours?
Like science is always very important in my life. I think many of the publications that you did maybe like delivered a lot of information for our group, for my team, for my country, and also for abroad. But I really was expecting to, all my life, I think the partnerships with other universities and other centers, it's really important.
Yeah.
Because as many patients that you can achieve, as many like studies, it's better, and the things can get bigger and with more value. So you're studying a lot of cells. You are trying to understand the phenotypes of the patients. I think this is a very big issue in our lives now. Who is the best phenotype and who is the best patient that can respond for the best treatment?
Yeah.
So what kind of treatment for each patient? Because as you know, we have different types of HA, we have different types of PRP, we have maybe different types of adipose cells, like microfragmented, vascular stromation, fraction, and maybe it's not for all the patients. Maybe you have like a group of patients that are gonna be a better patient to PRP, leukocyte poor. Maybe you have like a patient that is better for HA, like with low concentration or whatever. So I think you're not now able to understand who is the best indication. So now we're trying to better understand this, and also the synovial fluid, cytokines and growth factors, what's going on in the joint, to try to choose the best treatment for those patients.
Yeah, understand. In the beginning of the podcast, we talked a bit about your personal life and the way you sometimes drink your coffee on Thursday morning. At the end of the podcast, we always go a bit more into depth, and I want to know what your top 3 tips are for beginning scientists and clinicians in the orthoregenerative world. What do you think is best? Maybe give yourself advice back when you were 18?
First of all, you need to have passion, and patience. I think they're both important. But passion is the most important thing that guide all my life.
Yeah.
I think if you don't really love what you're doing, you're never succeed.
No.
And so I think this is the most important thing that guide your life. And I really don't think you have to be afraid of doing things. I think maybe you have someone that you can see yourself and you say, I want to be that person. I think he or she is amazing and they're doing great or something. Some leaders in our field, they're very important for us.
Yeah.
And
mentors.
They're mentors and they're leaders. Sometimes they're not even mentors because you cannot talk with them.
Yeah.
Like sometimes they're just looking at and saying, it's interesting, it's nice.
Yeah.
Now it's easier to talk with those people.
Yeah.
But when I was like 18, 20, it's something that you just read the papers of someone and said, he's nice or she's very smart.
Yeah.
So I remember when I read like Lisa Fortier's paper and I saw her in ICRS, I never talked to her, but I said, wow, she's very great. She's amazing. This woman is a vet in the middle of a lot of doctors and physicians.
Yeah.
And she's super respected. So that's someone that I really inspired myself to. So there are people sometimes.
She was also a guest on the podcast, so you're following in her footsteps.
No, now I can talk with her, right? Because I know her. But at that time, she was just an inspiration, and that's fine. Like she's a leader by herself, right? So that's very important. So my main, like the thing that really guide my life is passion and patience, really, because the things are not very fast. The generation that are coming, they really want things to be faster than they really are.
Yeah.
And I just want to build something that is solid, because if the base is not solid, everything's gonna ruin very fast.
Yeah.
So I think that's what I'm trying to do till now.
Yeah, very good, very good. And as a last question, because you shared some great insights and some great tips for starting researchers and clinicians, you shared with us that you do not drink that much coffee, but what is a guilty pleasure that you're guilty of in your life?
I think travel.
Yeah.
I think I really try to go to the conference, but take like 2 days extra in many places to stay and to know the place, to know the cultural things, to see lifestyles. But I can never forget I have my family. So they're my passion life. So I have 2 boys at home, so 15 and 10.
Yeah.
So I spend not as much time as I want with them, but I think they really respect that too. And they really admire in some manner. So it's, for me, it moves me to be better and to do my things the best I can.
Yeah.
And I really want to motivate them to do the same. Not to be like doctors if they don't want, but
then you have 3 generations of orthopedic surgeons.
Yes, but I just want them to be happy and to be whatever they want to do the best that you can.
Yeah.
And just don't be a normal person.
Yeah.
You have to do more to be the best or one of the best in your field, whatever it is. So I think this is maybe one of my, I would say, my passions right now, my hobbies, like not hobby, but my family and travel.
Yeah.
I really think that the moments that you have when you're traveling, they're forever. Yeah. It's cultural stuff. It's going to be with you forever.
Yeah.
So,
well, thank you so much for being on the podcast. Do you have some last words to say to our ONtheGO listeners?
Oh my God. Trust on. The On like really help us. It helped me when I was maybe 4 or 5 years ago that I want to go to Chicago to see Brian Cole, that he's one of my mentors. So On promote me that
Wow.
So I stayed there 4 weeks, and now you were really good partners and friends, I would say. So on promote that, I was super glad. So it's no words to really thankful. It's, I don't know, thankful is the word, because go ahead and see, like when you want something, just follow.
Yeah.
Just follow the path, and you're gonna go. As you were in Prague, I want to say a Kafka phrase, like you have to do some steps, and then it means that you are walking.
Mm-hmm.
So just walk.
You're gonna
be exactly.
Yeah. Well, thanks so much for being on the podcast, and we really appreciated having you as our guest. Thanks so much.
Thank you for having me.
This was On The Go, the podcast on orthoregeneration. For more content, stay tuned at my.on-foundation.org. Thanks for listening, and have a great day.